Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Woo!
Welcome to the Revolutionary Baddies podcast season 2.
Hey, season 2.
Season 2.
Wow.
I am your host. I'm Dee Dee.
And I am Brittany.
And we want to welcome anyone that's new to our universe.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. And for our returning Revolutionary Baddies and Zaddies, welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome. Wow. Season 2.
Season 2.
We're here.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We really wanted to start this episode out just catching up with each other, but also catching y'all up on what's all been happening. Just some of the most exciting partnerships, opportunities, reflections. Yeah. So much since we launched this and since we wrapped up season 1. So,
and it's only been 6 weeks, give or take.
Yeah.
Since we released our last episode 13 of season 1, which was also the end of our Black August series.
Yes. I respect your ambition, but you got to have vision.
Okay. And the vision, man, write the vision. Make it plain. 6 weeks has felt like very fast and also very short.
Yeah.
But we've had some things. I mean, the last time you heard from us, we were preparing for our live podcast event, the Blackest August ever, which we did in partnership with Black August in the Park.
Shout out to them.
Shout out, major shout out. I mean, we could start there. Like that event,
actually,
weekend was so.
It was powerful.
That's a word for it.
It's truly powerful, just powerful.
If you weren't there, I mean, between our live show and the actual Black August in the Park event, I just don't know where on earth you were.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. I don't know either.
Where could you have been?
I mean, the show, first of all, before we even get to the show, the planning leading up to it between me, Brittany, and Damaris, impeccable. One of the best things that I've put together. At no point were we like biting our nails day of to see if the delivery was going to come on time. We already had everything.
We were on our Zoom. Y'all remember Zoom? Me and Dee Dee are single-handedly bringing back, you got to get on your Zoom.
No, yeah, we are.
We were on our Zoom.
We really was.
Executing, I mean, everything fell together so perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to believe that in such a short amount of time also. Because we had been planning this event, in our minds for months. But once it got down to the actual phase of execution, we literally had about 25 days to really pull the show off. Like, fully secure the venue, order all of our merchandise, get all of the, meet with all of the people who help bring the vision to life, from the DJ to the sound people, videographers, everything.
A call for volunteers.
Everything happened in such a short amount of time, and but it was handled. It was so perfect.
It was so good. It was so good that doors opened at 6. The show started at 7. But once the doors opened, that's when we, got the music playing and everything. By 5:30, the entire set was done.
The set.
It was done. Shout out to all the people that came and helped put our set together. It was like a pretty last minute call.
Yeah.
But the community really showed up. And what was so funny was that, of course, the first people to arrive to support and help were Black women, were our friends. They all magically had on denim jeans and a black tank.
You cannot stop a Black woman in denim. A legion of Black women in denim.
Literally, like, not at all planned. We didn't set up no uniform for them to wear, but every time somebody walked in, they had on jeans and a black tank.
Mm-hmm. And they got to
I
work.
loved it. Yeah.
Build the set. I mean,
yeah.
Go check out our Instagram page for the pictures. You can see how gorgeous the set was.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were waiting on like some men to come, and they did come. But by the time they got there, the black women with the jeans and the tanks,
done.
It was done.
It was basically done.
The backdrop was set.
Yeah.
Bill, man.
Backdrop for people to take pictures. We had poster stands. We had posters.
The posters were so dope. I don't feel like in the pictures put up that there was enough emphasis on how dope the posters were.
No. Maybe somebody got some individual pictures of the posters, but I mean the show, and then also we were very, very intentional about the design of the set. I mean, both of us brought stuff from our homes, but also from our families.
Yeah.
The table that we used, that was from my grandmom's house. There was another like newspaper kind of stand thing, magazine stand, that was from my grandmom. You brought this beautiful art piece that you've had in your house forever, Brittany, that was from your dad.
Yeah, it was artwork from my dad. An African piece of artwork with a woman with her big boobs hanging out, which is me constantly. It's one of my favorite pieces. My mom has one of them, and my dad had one in his house. And so after he passed, I took a lot of his artwork to my house. So, I mean, the chairs.
Yeah, the chairs.
Man.
The chairs. Shout out to the random rental company that I found on Facebook Marketplace. It was seamless. I actually fumbled, and it was still seamless.
Every part of it.
Every single part. People really showed up. We almost had a problem with the speaker. When we went to visit the spot, it was 2 speakers. And then when we got there, they said one was down. Only 4. The building manager to walk in after he realized we only had 1 speaker, saying that the FedEx guy had just dropped off the brand new speaker that they had pre-ordered.
Bam.
So we got to use a brand new speaker, and thankfully we had an audio guy, which also shout out to James.
Yeah.
Shout out to Damaris, who got James for us and insisted. This is what you get. This is working with black women that know what they doing.
They're the most knowledgeable humans on earth.
We were literally like, Damaris, we don't know. We ain't really got it in the budget, to get an audio guy. She was like,
You need one.
And I'm going to cover it.
You need one.
And cover it she did. And we did. We absolutely needed him.
Because what did I know about a mic and setting it up and the sound?
We got a mic, we got a speaker, we got a DJ with their own situation. So shout out to everyone that attended. We had a beautiful attendance of about 100 people from our community.
Yeah.
Family and friends that came from out of town.
Yes, my friends got in the skies. I had a friend come from LA. I had a friend come from New York.
Yeah.
I had a friend who came from just like outside of Charlotte, and she literally had like a open house for her daughter that evening, and then got on the road in like 3:00 traffic, leaving the Charlotte area, and like made it here.
Yeah.
Like, people pulled up, left work early, redid their schedules to support.
Yeah.
And shout out to Janelle from Black August in the Park.
Shout out to Janelle.
Major weekend for Black August in the Park. And one of the co-founders literally like manned the door for us, passed out cue cards.
Yeah.
Did more than she had to do. And
absolutely. Just
jumped
in.
Jumped in.
Had no conversation with her beforehand. So, I mean, just the pour of support that we've been given, especially for our show. We want to thank all the photographers and videographers that came.
Pulled up.
And we didn't ask them to, But they did. And so it was just a beautiful start to a magical weekend of blackness.
The blackness, if I could cue it.
Exactly.
And then Black August in the Park was perfect. Year 10.
Yeah.
I mean, they did it up. The art installations.
It was beautiful. the history, that you could just kind of self-guided history tour of Black history. And I mean, the art, land history, history about labor, history about education and our resistance for education. And especially in North Carolina specifically, I believe the history was focused on. So, I mean, it was beautiful. There was some organizations out there tabling. There was the drum circle, which is a classic moment for Black August in the Park. Puppets. We had those like large, I think that's what they call the big giant ones. Yeah. That's like on stilts. We had a couple of those.
They had a bouquet tent where you could go and make for free. You can make your own bouquet.
You could walk away with a beautiful, like from, flower farms, local flower farms. There was also a place where you could build an altar. There was like an ancestral altar area. And like a kind of chill area, basically. And I mean, but Black August in the Park is getting thick. I mean, we got there kind of early. Like it started at 2 or 3. We got there at 4:30.
Yeah.
We was squeezing our blankets.
We had to make our encampment.
Between the people, we literally had to make encampment. And bring our stuff. I didn't really get into the food. I don't remember what I ate.
We ate, but we had a little pregame.
We had a pregame, but also I had Moses' mom food. I had Palace International.
Oh, did I eat out?
They was on.
I didn't.
They was on the low.
Okay, see.
I did. So shout out to Palace International.
Right. If you're from Durham, you know.
Always at Black August in the Park faithfully.
I mean, my daughter was out there handing out our merch. Absolutely. Like she was on a mission and she did it on her own. Yeah. Shout out to the mini revolutionary baddie. She was like, I'm gonna get these fans, and she grabbed one of my friends because she knew she needed adult supervision, and she was like, will you come with me to hand out these fans?
And she did.
And she was on it. Yeah. Great time all around, great vibes. The music, the DJ,
amazing.
Shout out to DJ AOVIP. Woo, woo, woo. She closed it out. I mean,
amazing.
Had a ball. Had so a ball fun. Up in that joint. So and fun. Literally, I was one of the last people leaving the park. Like they were breaking down. I will say that when the music cut off, niggas got out of there. I was like, damn, where everybody go?
No let out. Time to go. Because, well, you know what it was too? It was the day before everybody started school.
It was, yes. My daughter was already in school, but yeah, the public schools did start the next day. Yeah. It was a Sunday. It was time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a ball.
So that was just a few weeks ago. So we were still on high from the live show.
Yeah.
And then we had to talk about like, okay, let's take a moment to breathe, which literally we probably took like a week of not talking about Revolutionary Baddie. Well, we never stop.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what's next? Season 2.
Yeah.
And from that weekend, we gained so many new followers. And so we've had to reintroduce ourselves in ways. And that's what this season 2. But hopefully, if you're jumping in listening to this, you are caught up on season 1.
Yeah.
It's not too late. Go run it back.
It's a goodie.
It is.
I'll go back and listen to Shooters and Looters. It's quick.
I go back and just all the time something's going on. I'm like, wait a minute. We talked about that in the episode. And, go run it back. And then we've also had another in-person event.
Yes.
That we just did yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday from this recording, October 4th, we had our very, very first Reading Yap.
Read and Yap, which is a book club, essentially.
Yeah.
And we, I'm still like, what makes us why did we? I'm like, why did we do it?
Well, you was already doing it.
Yeah.
You had one at your house.
I had a Reading Yap back in January.
Yeah.
And it was just me and one other person. And so we had always talked about kind of incorporating more in-person events. Yeah. But we were like, before we get into season 2, let's have something else, because it felt so good to be in community at the live event.
Yeah.
But this was much more of an intimate setting. And so we did our book club, our reading app surrounding James Baldwin's The Fire Next Time. Specifically the first essay, My Dungeon Shook.
Yeah.
And we had such a great discussion, a great turnout.
I think we had more people there than who RSVP'd.
Yeah.
Which, like, that, I feel like that only happens in weddings and baby showers.
Yeah. And we didn't have meatballs. We didn't even have any meatballs.
No muffins.
And what was great that the people that came were not just our friends and family.
Right.
Like, we did have a couple of people who obviously we have relationships with. But there were people that we did not know, really did not know Revolutionary Baddies, but someone forwarded them the flyer and they were like, I heard about it and I would love to show up. And we were like, absolutely, come. And so we were able to build new connections.
Yeah.
And then the people, after the reading app was over, they were able to build connections with each other. That was one of my favorite parts, was seeing people afterwards just mix and mingle and exchange information.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
More than a podcast. This is
we really are. We really are. And I just to paint the picture too, like, we were in Nuestro Barrio Liberation Cafe, which is a new cafe in Durham, Liberation Cafe. It's led by members of PSL, Party for Socialism and Liberation, and it's in East Durham. And I think it just opened on this summer, but y'all should follow them. They definitely have a lot of great events, film discussions, and study groups, and just different conversations that we have also that are in alignment. And so we're hoping to continue our partnership with them. But they were still very much an open coffee shop while we were hosting our book club, so it felt literally we were in community.
Literally people were doing, like, having meetings, having coffee.
It was people preparing to do some outreach at the local flea market, so it was things happening in there because there's organizing happening in there. And so some of the people that just popped into the coffee shop ended up staying and listening to the yapping conversation. Absolutely. And so it was multi-generational. We had from age 6 all the way to,
I think my mother was the oldest, so probably 67.
Yeah, in the 60s. And multiracial and multi-gendered, but predominantly black women.
Yeah.
Predominantly black women in the space, talking about and excited about talking about Fire Next Time. So
wow.
And we're reading, the Fire Next Time, please read it. First of all, we'll add it and make sure you all have especially My Dungeon Shook, but you should read the whole thing.
Yeah.
He wrote it in 1963.
Yeah.
1963 is when he wrote this, and a whole, 50, 60 years later, we are still talking about...
We still need those words.
we are still talking about how our dungeon is not quite shaken the way that it need to. So, very excited to continue to have these events. And in order for us to continue, we need people to become donors.
Support.
We have our Patreon, patreon.com/Revolutionary Baddies. And you can become a member of our Patreon. I think we have 2 different tiers. One is for our day ones, and one is for our revolutionary zaddies. Zaddies.
What's the clip? It's a clip of it might be the president of South Africa, I'm not sure. Give women money. You have to give women money. You especially black women, you have to give them money. Give them money.
We're gonna add that into the carousel.
He ain't lying. Okay, that's how you're blessed.
But at least you know where your money is going.
Yeah, directly to these events.
We are literally having events.
Yeah.
So it also helps, obviously, for people to share our podcast, to talk to people about it, to share the events that we have. There's lots of people that couldn't make this past one. And so, yeah, we're going to be looking for y'all to cash in on let me know the next time you're doing one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be looking for you to pull up.
Pull up.
Yeah.
So that's been the past 6 weeks. And then planning for season 2, which we have so many. Look, the universe of Revolutionary Baddies is expanding. And of course, we're not going to announce anything prematurely.
Yeah.
But do know that Q4 and 2026, the Revolutionary Baddies are going to be all up in y'all face.
Yeah.
All up in community. And that's been the most beautiful thing about this whole process is all the new connections. Dee Dee is not new to being in community. Okay. We know that, right? We know Dee Dee. And I'm a social, non-social person. So this has pushed me out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I've never been like a weird antisocial person. Like I socialize very easily. I love people. People love me. But, I tend to like...
Weird antisocial person.
You know what I'm talking about. Like, oh my God, I got anxiety. I'm sweating because people talk to me. That's not me at all. Like, I've talked in front of people. I've done public speaking, different things. Yeah. But generally, I just kind of stick to myself and to my small group. So, building new connections, meeting new people is something I genuinely enjoy. I just don't push myself to do it.
Yeah.
So I have had so much fun meeting people, connecting with people, in the DMs for Revolutionary Baddies, chatting it up.
Yeah, hit
me up in the DMs. Hit us up.
Yeah.
And so this has just been such a beautiful example of like when you step foot out and build with people, whether you're building a live show, doing an event, or all the different things, it's like it restores your faith in humanity. Because if you sit home and sit on your phone and on the internet, you'll be like, Lord, send the brimstone. Because you know what I'm saying, like, people, what's going on with people? But when you actually are face to face with people and building something productive with people, it always restores your faith in humanity, and like we can do great things with each other. So yeah, it's been great.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with the baddies, but what's been going on in the world?
Oh, here we
had to start on a break now. Oh Lord.
We are pre-recording this, so there are things that are fresher on our timelines and on our minds than when this episode is released. So there will be lots of things, I'm sure, that'll happen in between now and then. But so far we're in a pickle for real. We're kind of fucked, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always, I like just bringing back what your mom said yesterday at the reading yap that's kind of stuck in my head, is that our opposition, they're not going to just die off.
Yeah.
And we can't wait for them to do so. And that they're always going to be seeking opportunities to re-seize power. Because the plan is for them to always be in power.
Yeah.
That is the plan. It's never for niggas to get free. No. It's never for migrants to not be targeted. It's never been for racism to be eradicated. Like, that's never been in the plan of this country's project. And so, just thinking about even in the times when we, and I'm saying this very, very generally, the more progressive politic has been in office, all they had to do was sit and wait.
That's the planning time.
Yeah, wait. And also influence along the way.
Yeah.
Play a big role in it. So that's kind of where we are. They are taking advantage of the opportunity that they have of seizing power and shifting things dramatically.
Yeah. And I think that that's what's so disturbing about this moment in time, is that we really do not have an opposition party to the Republicans and to MAGA.
Yeah.
Because let's say when Obama was in office,
not a big one anyway.
Right.
There are ones.
Oh yeah. Let's be very clear. Actually, I'm glad you said that. There are.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to get motherfuckers to realize, is that that's who should be getting our support in this moment, right?
Yeah.
But so let me be specific. The Democrats are not, the National Democratic Party is not an opposition party right now. They're not acting in that way.
Yeah.
As a whole. And so when Obama was elected, and the far right or conservatives, Republicans, they said, okay, we're going to come up with a plan because we will eventually be back in power.
Yeah.
And if it's not by just earning votes, we'll redistrict and we'll do things to get us back into office. We'll cheat. We'll steal. Whatever, which was something they've been doing with elections.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. We'll get back in power, right?
Yeah.
And so not having a real opposition party right now in power is
at no level. At no level.
No real fight against what's happening. And because the plans, as you said, my mother mentioned, they're always going to be evolving.
Yeah.
And finding new ways to remain in power, to grab power.
Yeah.
That's what was so disturbing to me during last year's election cycle, was where is the vision, right? Like, because we saw the project, we talked about this in a previous episode, Project 2025, the vision was there on the right.
Yeah.
And the vision is there on the left, but once again, not within the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And so what we're seeing right now, I think, was not just scary about the next, 3 and 4 years under this administration, is that even if the Democrats get back power in 2028, is there any visionary plans, or is it just going to be literally like, okay, now we have the House and the Senate and we're going to try to pass some like bills to restore restore order.
Yeah.
But is there really any visionary plans to transform America, because it is being transformed rapidly right now? And that's what I worry. Like, y'all, what's the plan?
What's the plan, Stan?
What is the plan, Stan? Like, the National Democratic Party, I do not believe right now, one, that they're doing enough.
Yeah.
To fight. They're still referring to Republicans in the House and the Senate as my colleagues. We're meeting with my colleagues. I would never call a fascist a colleague.
Right.
I'd be like, we about to go in here and meet with these fuck niggas right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
because they have to maintain the relationship in a way that is meant to be as if it isn't biased, or as if we're getting on the same page. We're getting in some alignment.
We're going to come to a consensus with fashion. We're going to go in and meet with Trump and J.D. Vance, like Hakeem and Chuck Schumer, like, okay, we're going in about the government shutdown, which is currently going on right now. We're going to go in and we're going to have a meeting with them.
Another
one.
Another government shutdown.
Under Trump.
Hello.
And we're going to go in and we're going to have some good faith talks with them. You can't.
What are you talking about?
And I think what's also telling about this moment is that that administration is breaking laws, breaking procedures. There is no checks and balances. Like, Congress is supposed to be the purse of the country. They decide how funding is distributed. Yeah. Right now, Trump is like, nah, cancel it in Chicago for public schools, the grants that they were supposed to get the funding. Oh, cancel it to these universities. Right now he's actively telling universities, if you pledge to be conservative, you will get expedited funding.
Right. So
will you sign this pledge?
Right.
That is not a normal process. And so we're not in normal times where we can say, well, we're going to go fight that in the Supreme Court. Yeah. We ain't got no Supreme Court.
We ain't got them.
It's the Trump court.
Absolutely. It's authoritarianism. I mean, as fine as restructure, being in the biggest red flag or the biggest alarm should have been sounded a long time ago. And I think a lot of people did sound it off, but this was a while ago around the banned books, around the testing and education. It's always been conservative, actually. And now more universities, which are, generally have been seen as more liberal spaces and places where liberal politics can be practiced a little bit more. Obviously, certain schools have it more than others, but that is the idea behind the universities. And so when the president of the country is imposing and enforcing conservatism and basically doing this kind of like carrot stick situation with universities, it is authoritarianism that's happening. Same thing with the media. Same thing with the media. The monopolizing, the consolidation of the media, and the Jimmy Kimmel, that was the thing that just happened recently.
Rocked people.
Because he was I guess he said something bad about
he honestly
CK.
did. That's the craziest thing.
I didn't hear anything.
He honestly did not say. So here's what Jimmy Kimmel did. This is obviously after the assassination of CK. And he put up a clip. He was like, he mentioned it and he said, and of course our president is all torn up about it. And then the show pans to a clip of Trump outside of the White House.
Right.
And the reporters are asking him, like, how are you dealing with, the death of Charlie? He was a friend of yours. And he's like, all very sad. And he's like, but look at, they're constructing the new ballroom. Yeah. He's like, no one could ever get it done before. It was a mess. We're getting it done like you've never seen before.
He literally moved on.
He literally like jumped sentences immediately. And so like, the crowd laughed, and that was what Jimmy.
That was it.
He literally did not say anything about Charlie Kirk. He literally was making fun of the president for not really grieving him.
Right.
And that got him yanked
off the air
immediately.
He was demanded to give an apology to the family.
Yeah, and to donate money.
Yeah.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
Yeah. And so people started organizing around this. I mean, obviously Jimmy Kimmel Live. And it, that situation really made me think of V for Vendetta. You remember that movie?
I do, but
you gotta watch it.
It's been I don't think I've seen it in its totality. I've just like watched it in clips.
It's interesting. I watched it recently because I freaking love that movie. Mm-hmm. But it's an authoritarian regime, and one of the comedians, he uses his opportunity to, kind of make fun of the president. Or I forget what he was. It was a different name than a president, but he the nigga in charge of the whole country, and it just completely embarrasses him. And he's thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna be off the air, fuck it anyway. Like this will be my last show, and he ends up getting worse. Something worse happens to him, and so it made me think about, just the role obviously that entertainment plays still on the politics and on the political terrain that we are constantly trying to organize on.
Yeah. They were definitely trying to make an example out of him.
Absolutely.
But one of the things about it, I won't say completely that it backfired, but they went to go make an example out of him, and all it did was help educate people about how consolidated the media conglomerates really are.
Yeah, and who makes the calls?
Who owns it? So now we know about the Sinclair family.
Yeah.
Before I did not know about the Sinclair family. Now I knew about like media monopolies, and you can see it. Like Paramount's always buying this and this, $50 billion mergers and different
Disney,
things.
ABC.
Mm-hmm. But now people are more knowledgeable about the FCC. Who's running the FCC? And
that's what's called the hidden power.
Mm-hmm.
Hidden power. There's the visible power,
right?
And then there's the hidden power.
And now it's all coming to light even more. So
Yeah.
that's all that situation really did, because Jimmy Kimmel is now back on.
Yeah. And thousands of people also canceled their subscriptions, which was also the big deal.
Money talks.
Okay.
Disney executives said, I just lost $3 billion in stock value. I don't give a fuck about a Sinclair.
Get that nigga back on the air.
Get him back on the air. You know what I'm saying? And so
yeah, that's
the difference. I think somebody explained it between like the oligarchs and the corporatists. The oligarchs, they want chaos. They want power and all of this influence. And the corporatists are like, I'm trying to make this money. Disney like, I don't give a damn about a Christian this, a conservative that. I care about my stockholders and money flowing. Yeah. And then you have these other families who are equally wealthy, but they actually have, they're at the Project 2025 meetings. Yeah. And they actually they have an agenda towards controlling people. Yeah. And that's the kind of the separation. And typically the corporatists like to hang out with the Democrats. A little bit more law and order, less chaos, let's make this money. Yeah. While exploiting people still. Absolutely. And the oligarchs tend to go with the conservatives, and it's like, because they can get their agenda pushed through on that side. But now it's just kind of, they're all together. Yeah. And I feel like the corporatist thing that you mentioned, I feel like we talked about it before, and during the civil rights movement, I believe one of the tactics that some of the Black leaders used was partnering, or at least gaining some level of alignment with local white business owners, because they didn't want people to not come to the town because they needed to make their money. Yeah. And so those people aligned, those white business owners aligned with the civil rights movement organizers because they wanted to make sure that they made some money. Yeah. Not actually because they cared about the fucking racial discrimination and violence that was happening on a regular basis to the Black people in that town. Yeah. They only wanted to make sure they got their money. And that's the thing about all this racism we see. Racism is just, it's an ideology and it's a tool, a lot of these big hidden figures, the man, they don't really care about race. They utilize hierarchy as a way of getting, a means to an end. Yeah. So however they got to play it, whatever, all right, like I said, I honestly believe that Trump is a racist. Yeah. However, I don't really feel like that's what gets him up in the morning. Like, I want to oppress racists. He just wants to make money, stay out of jail. Like, he needed to win this election to literally, he had already been convicted. Right. So I believe that he definitely, and he knows that the people who he's aligned with, like the Stephen Millers, they care about race and they care about white supremacy. Right. Right. Trump is just a money man. And if it's like, okay, this is what I got to go with to get money and to keep power, sure. Yeah. Damn him. Yeah. I do think that he's also, it's like an opportunist. It's an opportunist, but I do think that he is pretty serious about the level of privatization and removing the government from providing resources for people, which is not just, that's not just about him making money. It is about him making money, right? But it is also about being anti-government in this way that pushes for the privatization of what should be human rights, actually. Yeah. like education, for instance, like healthcare. Yeah. Like, these are things that should be basic human rights that is provided, and there is a particular politic of being against the government and towards more privatization and more humanizing of corporations. Yeah. But who's running the White House is Stephen Miller. Trump, his old ass, probably, they got to wake up and tell him which day it is, probably. You know what I'm saying? He's not a mastermind. He's a puppet for sure. And he's an egotistical one. That's why he always had the buildings named after him. The Trump Tower, the Trump this. So he loves this idea that he's about to be minted onto coins and all these things.
Yeah.
And that's why he's always talking about me. Like, how's Charlie Kirk? How you feel about Charlie Kirk? Look at what I'm building. Look at what I'm doing. You know? And meanwhile, Stephen Miller is like, all right, this is the plan of destruction for today. And he's like, all right. So they prop him up, put some makeup on them veins that's turning purple.
Yeah.
And get him out there to do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
So Trump is moving full steam ahead. God, what else is good? I mean, CK's assassination, I think it's brought out more than anything beyond him. It's not much to talk about with him.
Let me just say, I did not know who that was. I literally didn't know who that was before he was rocked.
I saw he has a distinct look. His head kind of looks like Beavis or Butthead. Whatever one had the brown hair.
Okay.
I think that was Butthead.
Yeah.
So he was memorable in that sense. Like, I'd seen clips of him. But anytime I would see clips of like these conservative agitators and stuff like that, I would always flip or turn or whatever. Yeah. So once again, I hadn't really heard him speak. But I could just see from a clip that I would see scrolling, like, okay, this is a guy who goes somewhere and he does these dumb things. Yeah. But I really didn't know much about him other than that he was an asshole. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of glory that this podcaster has received.
Crazy.
It is. He's been propped up as a martyr.
And getting a day. The House passed.
Oh, wow.
A resolution to have a day of remembrance for October 14th, which is his birthday.
Oh, hell no.
You did, girl, yeah. And
what?
And it had
the day before my birthday?
And it had bipartisan support.
They are so stupid.
Bipartisan support. And the Democrats, including Jeffries, who voted yay on the act, he said that he wasn't voting to commemorate Charlie, but he was voting to condemn political violence. But the day is not called the day of anti-political violence. It's a remembrance day for Charlie Kirk, which Charlie Kirk also shares a birthday with George Floyd, who he mocked consistently on his podcast.
Oh, wow.
And so people always bring up how hypocritical it is that he mocked this dead man.
Right.
He was one of the ones saying, he died from a fentanyl overdose. Oh, it wasn't the knee on his neck. Oh, we should exhume his body and do an autopsy, find out how he really died. He mocked someone's death repeatedly. And then he dies and people show no remorse or no real particular concern about it. And then people are like, oh my God, you can't mock a dead person. And that's like literally what he did. And he shares a birthday with George Floyd. And they are now trying to get a national day of remembrance. And it had bipartisan support from some Democrats.
I mean, disappointing to say the least. Like, just the lack of vision that we've been talking about on this. You know who else's birthday is on October 14th? Usher. The
King Libra? Is he King Libra?
Libras. There's only but so much. I really did not know who that was beforehand. So I'm like finding out all these things post. But the commentary around political violence and assassinations and just the increase of the assassinations. And it mocks the 60s.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
And we've had since then.
I mean, the 70s too.
A shooting at an ICE detention center where supposedly the shooter was anti-ICE.
Oh, yeah. That's
in Dallas, Texas. But he only shot detainees and no ICE officers.
Right.
But he also wrote on the shell case.
Wrote on the bullet.
Come on, Cash. You gotta come up with a new thing, babe. Stop biting from Luigi.
From allegedly.
Well, we know Luigi didn't do it. Free Luigi.
But first of all, the fact that they tried to prop it up and the bullet saying anti-ice, who says that?
Or that the bullets on the shell cases for the shooter, for Charlie Kirk, that it said like something about trans rights and like, come on, J. Edgar Hoover would be so disappointed in this new FBI. Like, babes,
that's what you do? This the best you can do?
Come on. Why are you on Twitter during an active investigation posting the shell casing?
On Twitter.
And you're the director of the FBI and you are on Twitter posting evidence.
Why do we know this?
3 hours after the incident. And not just because it's like there's reports say you're posting the picture and you can see the reflection in the picture of the officer standing over the shell casing, because I zoomed in and I'm like, look at this shit. He really like, let me get this picture, send it to Cash real quick. And Cash got that on his phone. He
you
like,
got it. You got it.
Yeah, I'm about to put this on Twitter right now. See Come on now, cut it out.
What is going on?
So this is the world where this is the country, and then we've had the UN, United Nations meeting here. Shout out to the president of Colombia. He won't be back. They revoked his visa.
He won't be back.
He won't, and I'm sure he's okay with that.
Why wouldn't he be?
Right. And I mean, he knew. He literally got on a mic and said, like, we need an army to fight the U.S.
Period.
In New York. The fact that he left the states, okay?
Yeah. He better had.
Hello.
He fucking better had.
Exactly.
You don't know what they got down there in Colombia. I was there.
Okay. Shit, overly loaded.
Okay.
But shout out to him being courageous enough to just call for people. He really said to build an army of humanity. Like, he said the world is trying. The protesting, the everything.
Yeah.
And the U.S. is upping aggressions, bombing boats off the coast of Venezuela.
Yep.
Calling them members of drug cartels. And even if they were, when do we have the jurisdiction in international waters to bomb a boat? Even if El Chapo was on that boat.
Yeah.
The ghost of Pablo.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of aggressions. Obviously, Trump is looking to start some type of war.
Yeah.
A war within.
Yeah. That's pretty clear. And I mean the attacks that also happened to the Iranian nuclear
facilities.
Right. Yeah, that was recent too.
Yes. Allowing Israel to bomb Qatar.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be a friend of ours. Qatar was like, well, damn. I mean, y'all let...
How I get in this?
How y'all let the homie come up on me, punch me?
Right.
So, but this is obviously what some people wanted.
Absolutely. We are living in our oppressors' fantasy. Fantasy, not their dream. Absolute fantasy. They are jerking off literally to the oppression that we are facing on a regular basis. They love it, eating it up, and sucking it down
because they have vision, bold vision.
Yeah,
and look at them; they got it.
Yeah.
So we have to have ours. We want to get into Parable of the Talents. Ooh.
We started off our very first our inaugural episode of Revolutionary Baddies with Parable of the Sower. And it is my favorite series by my favorite author. And it's so mimicking of the times that we're in. And she wrote this in the 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I want, like... Octavia had to have gotten in a time travel machine. She says she did.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. But boy, oh boy, literally, there is a "Make America Great Again" slogan.
Yeah.
In this book.
Yeah.
Written in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Surrounding a presidential candidate. What's his first name? Is it Andrew or Andrew Jared?
Who's Gray? Or maybe it's Jared Gray. No, the last name is Gray. The last name is Jared.
Something.
President Jared,
who is Trump. 1000%. He has a MAGA following. And Sower really talked about this phase leading up to it. And so when we chose to focus our first episode on Parable of the Sower, we were talking about being prepared for the times.
Yeah.
Getting prepared. Talents, they're in the times.
They are in it. There's no more preparation that they can be in. It's just managing.
Survival.
Yeah.
And I told Dee Dee, like, I read Sower last year. Talents, I had been meaning to get into, and I picked it up at the beginning of this year. At the end of January. Now, we all know Trump was inaugurated January 20th.
Yeah.
I started the book around that week for whatever reason, just because I had just finished another book, and I was like, okay, time for me to go into another one. And Trump got inaugurated, and then there were the 2 plane crashes, and I had to put the book down because I was like, not right now.
Yeah.
I think I picked up one of them love books, with the fine man to come and save the day. But I had to get back into this story. It was calling me, and boy, oh boy, once again, Octavia Butler, she just made something that is so relevant. And if you've read Sower, you gotta follow up with Talents. It's a hard follow-up.
Yeah.
Particularly in these times.
Yeah.
But I think that what this time also calls for, and that we see in the book and in real life, is that we cannot hide from the truth. It's becoming so impossible to hide from, to put our head in the sand. And the only way to deal with it is to really face the brutality of it. As daunting and as heavy as it can be, we have to face it to survive it. Yeah. Because we if we don't face it, our face will literally be shoved into it. And that's kind of like what's happening right now across America.
Yeah. To paint a little bit of the scene for Parable of the Talents, it's, to me, I would say it's kind of between where we are right now in this country and Handmaid's Tale. It's like, if we thought about that as a spectrum, Parable of the Talents is closer to the Handmaid's Tale end of that spectrum. So it gives you this sense of that's where we're headed if we don't really get our shit together, and not even just be prepared, but like we actually have to shift our thinking about people in the most transformative ways. Yeah. One of the things that Lauren talks about, and that really you see throughout the book, is her obsessiveness. She's relentless. She is persistent and like the perseverance, just the what Octavia Butler calls a positive obsession that she has with this idea of earthseed. And in earthseed is the idea that we as human beings, we are seeds of the earth, literally. We are what the earth has birthed, and at some point we need to prepare to leave, to grow up, to transcend, to metamorph, to evolve, just like everything else in this world has. And that is part of her, like, her whole litany. That's her whole lore. It's like, God is change, and that's the level of change that we have the potential as human beings to be at, and we need to get there.
Yeah.
And stop fucking around.
And she's crafted this religion to be a guide. And I think what stands out about the Earthseed religion versus religion as how we commonly know it, particularly the Abrahamic religions, is that it's not meant to be this thing to just build community with and have power and decide morality. It's not a moral based religion. It's really about a guide to help us.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was the original intent of a lot of religions, but how people in power have utilized it, it's kind of lost that sense.
Yeah.
So when you look at the words of Christ, it's supposed to be like a guide of just, being a good person and decent and things of that. But the religion that has become Christianity has been more about saving souls, saviors, hell, heaven, rewards, and sins, and
sinning,
all sins, and most sins. And so what Earthseed is like what we believe in. Our belief framework should help build our larger framework for navigating life.
Yeah.
And Lauren does it so masterfully. Oh,
Yeah, she does. And one of the things too with religion that she speaks on is that because of the high level of faith you have to have, that's part of being religious, is just this high level of faith that you have about the future, about where you're going, about what happens to other people based on what they do, like all of that. And she makes it a religion because she truly believes that like this is the thing that humans most can believe in the most. Basically, you can have, for instance, she could have made it a damn, a project or a report or some other sort of form, but she chose religion because she believed that it had the potential for people to really embody the idea of Earthseed, embody the idea of God being changed, and even though you don't know it, you do know it. And that's the whole thing about faith. And so she really grows out this religion really based on truth, and also taking into account the very humanness of what we're surviving.
Yeah. And there's so many different things that you can take from this book, but it is definitely a cautionary tale about Christian nationalism.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that. I think one of the biggest things that I pulled out of Charlie Kirk being killed was how Christian nationalism is being used to cover the wrongdoings of people in power, of influencers. And particularly for me as a Black woman, and a Black woman who is agnostic, how so many Black people align themselves with the legacy of Charlie Kirk because he was, quote unquote, a man of God and a bold believer in Christ.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond just a difference of like faith opinion. For me, my main critique of religion, or people being religious, is how it creates this kind of blind loyalty and an acceptance of a certain form of ignorance. And so, and mind control, groupthink. And so there were people who I had not seen post in months and years. The day of Charlie Kirk's assassination, they came out and they put up a post. God bless him. God rest him. And it's like, wait, what's going on? And it wasn't just me. Like, it literally was like when you see the zombie apocalypse happening in the movies, like everybody like, hey, you see like something going on? Like everybody was like, whoa, did y'all see all of I call them Christian zombies, come out the sewers, the gutters. And all of a sudden they had a post, and it was like, obviously they were queued up to do it. They were told to, you know, it wasn't, you couldn't just tell that it was, one person just decided that day to post. Like they all had to get online and say something about it. Coordinated, which is creepy. And so, you know, the danger that we see in Parable of the Talents is how people in power, which they've always done, will utilize religion, and not just Christianity, but religion, to create this system of control.
Yeah.
And that's what our poor Lauren gets caught up in, and it's targeted because she has built this community of free thinkers that believe in this earth seed, which is just like about natural truths, really.
Yeah, it really is. It's at the end of Parable of the Talents, but it's, to me, this chapter, which is chapter 20, is the most like explanatory that she goes into about earthseed and about what it means, how she embodies it. Okay, so one of the passages, she says, she's talking to somebody and she says, that's what earthseed was about. I wanted us to understand what we could be, what we could do. I wanted to give us a focus, a goal, something big enough, complex enough, difficult enough, and in the end, radical enough to make us become more than we ever have been. We keep falling into the same ditches, you know? I mean, we learn more and more about the physical universe, more about our own bodies, more technology, but somehow down through history, we go on building empires of one kind or another, then destroying them in one way or another. We go on having stupid wars that we justify and get passionate about, but in the end, all they do is kill huge numbers of people, maim others, impoverish still more, spread disease and hunger, and set the stage for the next war. And when we look at all of that in history, we just shrug our shoulders and say, well, that's the way things are. That's the way things have always been. Mm-hmm. And so she's looking really into the future with this. I mean, that's the main thing that Octavia Butler talks about. It's like, my book is not profound if you're paying attention to what the hell is going on around you. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this in episode 1 of season 1 around the climate catastrophe. Yeah. She's basically like, I'm not saying anything new or that nobody really knows if you're paying attention.
Yeah. If we do not tend to these issues, they will grow and become worse. And Absolutely. Recently, our new Secretary of War, which has now been changed from Secretary of Defense, he literally said in his speech at Quantico, I believe it was last week, no more climate change worship. Yeah. As if someone worships an ideal, like what? Like literally, what is that? Yeah. And he's saying this to a room full of generals and admirals who are in places in the world dealing with climate catastrophe. Yeah, that's why they have the Marine Corps engineers. They literally go and build dams and build things across the world to deal with the changing, like the erosion and different things. Like that's why they exist. They actually literally see water not making it places and all these different things. So very interesting.
It's interesting. I mean, again, coming back to the Christian nationalism that's being pushed, the evangelical Christian word that's being pushed and are also in power and actually have been in power since I believe Nixon is when they kind of have taken off. The neoliberalists, the Christian nationalists, and all of them kind of being in the same in enough alignment to be in consistent power and to push imperialism forward. And in Parable of the Talents, there is a group called the religion that runs that country is Christian America. It's a faction. Obviously, it's a very conservative arm of the Christian faith, but it's very specific to the United States. Is that Christian America, and they build crusades, which are authorized, held completely unaccountable vigilantes that target anybody that is not rich and a Christian Christian American. Yeah. and force and create these quote unquote re-education camps that are actually concentration camps for Black people, for poor people, for people that they use the vagrancy laws, which have always been racist as fuck. Vagrant laws across the world, not even just in the United States, but they use this as an opportunity to say that even if those people have subscribed to Christian America, they just so happen to be poor and in the wrong place at the wrong time, and those people end up in shackles with no one knowing about it. No one knows about it, and there's no way of getting out.
No. And they use technology to enslave people, and women, per usual, we catch the brunt of it. You see that in the story. Women are literally being burned again like witches. And so the misogyny that we're seeing, this whole like online with influencers, was it the trad wives, like women becoming more docile again, becoming just get rid of, like, even Charlie Kirk's widow, who has like 2 or 3 degrees, I believe a PhD, owns multiple multi-million-dollar businesses, is literally telling women, like, it is now your time and place to get back in the home and just be a good wife and be a good mother, raise your kids. Girl, you are on the road. You are running multiple businesses, and that's what's being pushed online actively, because Christian nationalists are trying to subjugate women again. And
they're organizing.
And they have women on their side. And that's one thing that this book you'll see right now in the real world, you'll see is that you will always have the oppressed on the side of the oppressors. You will always have people who should be fighting, working alongside the very people who will have their head. And they just feel as though if they can get themselves close to power, they can protect their personal selves.
Absolutely.
And to hell with everybody else.
But also because one of the factors of conservatism, which includes like what they talk about in this book around Christian America and also with the Christian nationalism, is that there is a sense of inherent hierarchy. The idea of inherent hierarchy, and I'm saying this for the people on the left as well, because there's lots of ways that inherent hierarchy also creeps up in our relationships and friendships, and your idea of what you want for your life, and especially what I hear in some of my friends and what they want in a partner. There is a sense of inherent hierarchy, and that must be maintained. Or I don't even know what they think will happen.
It'll just rock the world. It's kind of like, so James Baldwin talked about in The Fire Next Time, how the black man has always been this like fixed star in the white man's world. Like the same way that the white man can wake up every day and count on the moon to come out, see the moonlight at night. And I'm paraphrasing, Baldwin doesn't say it in this way. The sun, that like black people have a place in this hierarchy. And so as the black man moves out of this quote unquote fixed place that he's supposed to be in, it shakes them. Like, imagine seeing the sun at 10 o'clock at night. You would literally get ready for the rapture, which just happened like 2 weeks ago. And so with this hierarchy, as women continue to excel and move beyond, and then non-binary people and all of these different things, it's like literally disrupting the order of the universe. And I think people really feel like the world may crumble if, for whatever reason, a man is not the leader of everything. Church, the relationship, the car wash, like damn, like everything.
Music.
Yeah. So we have to, sometimes when I get on my soapbox, people are like, you're being too philosophical, too whatever. And that's what they were telling Lauren.
Absolutely.
Like, even Lauren's husband was like, girl, like, what's the plan?
Yeah.
You're all in your head with these
we
drinks.
got a way out of this.
Yeah.
You can leave all these people. I mean, and that's also what I love about Parable of the Talents. Again, is this tenacity, this this North Star that I am not taking my eyes off for nobody.
Nothing.
For nothing. Because I know in every fiber that this is the way forward.
Yeah.
That this is who I am and what we need. Like, she was always on that type time.
Yeah. And it's the power of having strong convictions.
Yeah.
And, you know, like being radical. I like the term. Like, I would consider myself radical, but also we've got to change that. It has a negative connotation, because you have to be radical about something. You have to, ideally, a radical love of humanity, a radical love of your planet, a radical, thought to for whatever goal you have. And there are a lot of people in this world and in this country with strong convictions, but it's just rooted in the wrong things.
Mm-hmm.
And they are able to have immense power and achieve a lot of things because of those strong convictions.
Yeah.
But Lauren is a character, like you said, that just has this like tenacity. Mm-hmm. Even when she has a slave collar around her neck choking her, she will grab a little piece of paper and a pen in a corner and work and write and sort through her thoughts and plan. She's still looking for that future and believing in it.
Absolutely.
And right now in these times, there are going to be a lot of things that have already rolled out and that are coming out to break our spirits and break our belief that we can make it out of it and that we can build something new and better, that actually not only is the worst to come, but that the best is to come for humanity. And people will dismiss it as like, much like Lauren, girl, get out them books. Oh, your little earthsea thing, your little this, your little thought, and oh, you're a little radical. But these are the times when we're really going to have to hold on to our convictions if you're on the right side of things, because there's so many things to come that may just be like, well, is there even a future worth fighting for?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The despair, the unhealthy pessimism, the unhealthy skepticism, the lack of trust in humanity.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually the wrong direction to go in this time, even though there is so much happening that couldn't push you that way. I mean, I think what happened recently this past weekend was the ICE raids in Chicago after the mayor and lots of organizers and many people of influence in Chicago have come together to stand against the Trump administration's orders and stand on them 10 toes and talk about how they are not going to say yes to federal agents and a bunch of ICE coming into Chicago, because obviously they're going to go to the south side. They're going to go to the west side, which is the predominantly black and brown neighborhoods of the city. And this past weekend, there were ICE raids, major ICE raids in apartment buildings of black people in the South Shore. Mm-hmm. And what they claim is that they were looking for members of some Venezuelan gang.
High-level targets
of a Venezuelan gang. And what they did was they removed children, forcibly violently removed children, black children, black elderly people from their homes, had them zip tied outside, some of them without any clothes, looking for these Venezuelan, quote unquote, looking for. It was never confirmed whether they actually found any of those people. They forced themselves into almost every single apartment in this particular building in the South Shore neighborhood of Chicago. Like, hearing that, seeing the interviews, watching the interviews, like it can really fucking break you.
Yeah.
And those people in that neighborhood, they will now have to be on watch in a different kind of way than they were. So they're not only, watching out for the corrupt ass Chicago Police Department, it's also all the federal agents that are there, including I'm saying federal agents because apparently sometimes they kind of switch up uniforms. Some of them go in as ICE and some of them go in as FBI and some of them go, like, they kind of switch around. So largely they are federal agents. which actually does in some ways include the police.
Yeah. And we're seeing it. We talked about it with the Abolition Now episode. You have to be an abolitionist at this point. I think in our minds, we look at people who are incarcerated as criminals, right? So that they're kind of like rightfully there.
Yeah.
And, Diddy, I'm glad his ass is there. Okay.
Yeah.
But, we look at it as that, but these prisons, the system of policing, which is basically just utilized to funnel people into incarceration. It is a system. They're building these places for all of us.
Yeah.
And we see that now. Like,
it ain't just for
the gag.
Whoever them is in your mind.
Right. The gag is up. It's not zip tying children. And then somebody said that they heard someone say, fuck them kids.
Yeah.
They're all of this, I felt myself about to drop it.
Militarization. You got it.
Of the police, activists have been warning us for years.
Decades.
The cop cities about these things was all because the day would come that they would have the ability and already have the equipment and the power and the artillery to be able to storm into a building at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, flashbang people out of their homes, and do
tear
whatever.
gas what, in a neighborhood at like 3 in the morning, 2-3 in the morning.
They're pulling up in like U-Haul trucks and pouring out.
Yeah.
As if El Chapo was in the building.
Yeah. Yeah.
And doing all of this. And so all of these things that, a lot of organizers and activists have been warning us about for years is because, much like Octavia Butler, is the foresight to see, okay, right now they're practicing on these people.
Yeah.
But that's the practice round.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then it will roll out to more people who are just an ordinary citizen in their home.
Yeah. Yeah. Which includes us.
Yes.
Which includes us. And, there's a lot to be done. And there are many people that are shifting really how they build community. And that was one of the big questions that we had for our audience during our live show was we actually have to take responsibility for building our community. Mm-hmm. Building our community. I'm going to say it again because I think what I've heard is some tendencies to lean towards we need to be protecting our community. And I don't really know what people mean when they say that because it means so many different things, actually. Like in that particular instance of the ICE raid in that apartment in South Shore, Chicago, what would have protecting their neighborhood actually looked like? It would have looked like an inner city war against federal agents, which only would have amplified the amount of danger that those people in the surrounding areas or neighborhoods like it face. And so I think the question and the assignment right now is really around what is the type of communities that we want to build and how can we make them safer, but we can't do that individually just as individuals. We literally can't.
Yeah.
I wish we could. And if we could, we would have already done it. And in some ways there are places where people are doing it, especially like rural places in the South that are a little bit more protected. But in the grand scheme of the working class, that does not exist. But that's not, I don't think as much of that is really in our control. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It doesn't not exist, but it's not as much in our control. What is in our control is the vision and the implementation behind building new communities.
Yeah. And what is it? And, one of the things is like when we think about community, before it meant, I don't want to say it doesn't now, but you think about people in the immediate vicinity of you. Yeah. And as we talked about in a previous episode, Black people used to be a lot more concentrated. You know,
because
it was black neighborhoods, right? We had to be.
We didn't have
the
a
lines
choice.
were drawn clearly. You stepped over that line,
yeah,
sundown town, you're across the line.
exactly.
And now we are dispersed. You know, we live now, you know, more in apartment communities and not in actual houses. And so you have a diversity. You know, you're in a stack. Below you is somebody who's of a different class, a different race, a different, you know, different things of that sort. And so, like, what is really community at this point? A lot of people like go to church to be in community, or they'll go to a space to be in community, versus actually looking at their neighborhood as community. Because some people literally have people with like a Trump flag waving from their house across the street. Right. So community, like,
and what can you do about it?
What can you do about the neighbor?
Maybe you can go and talk to them.
Hey, buddy. And in some cases, like, you are on decent terms with your neighbor with the Trump flag. You know, hey, how you doing? The kids are out there riding the bikes. You know, it is what it is. We don't talk about it. Right. But that is, I think, the mission for all of us, you know, myself included. Like, when I think about my community, I think about my friends. I think about different organizations. Like, you know,
you're not thinking about building 19.
I'm not thinking about building 19, right?
Yeah.
And there are certain, you know, like, there are black people in my building, and we have that nod each other. Hey, how you doing? Like, when we pass each other. And then, you know, other races of people live there, and you're like, still the same. You know, I'm a Southern woman. Hey, how you doing? But I'm like, I don't know. You know, I wouldn't knock on their door for anything. I would maybe go knock on the black neighbor's door. You know, need be. But, like, I think that there has to be a massive education on how to, like, literally the ABCs of building community. And I would need to be front row. You know, like
in that class.
In that class. You know, and, like, as I learn, I'll teach. And I think that's something we all have to do. Like, as we get new knowledge, like, we have to pass it on. But, like, how to be there's a great clip of Asada. Oh my God, we didn't talk about Asada. We have to wrap. We're wrapping it up soon, but there's a rest in peace,
rest in power.
Yes. Oh my God, to the giant,
the legend,
the GOAT, like
the icon. Asada
now the ancestor. There's there's a lot of her clips circulating right now since her passing, and about this very thing about how we have to change how we are in relation with one another and how we see community. And she mentions the whole thing, like knowing the people in your building, knowing the things and making eye contact. She's like, we're on a planet with each other. Yeah. And we won't even look at each other and say, hey. Yeah. Now
I got like two neighbors that, like, I will straight up walk past and I'll be staring dead in there and they won't acknowledge. They just won't.
And for me, like, as a Southern, I'm always gonna say, hey, how you doing? You know, I might not go much further, but hey, to me that's normal. But I do have people, they will walk past and I'm like or you know, Yali will see their dog, my daughter will see their dog and be like, oh, puppy, and they'll just kind of like smirk and keep walking. I'm like, stop the dog so she can pet it. You know, so like
ignore her.
That I think is the thing for us to learn and be committed to right now is like, what does it look like to build? And I think we're capable of it because we do it in the church a lot. For those who go, but how do we expand beyond that space? Yeah, and the reliance of it. And again, like I
understand why. Right? Like, it is tradition, number one, for your third space to be your religious home. Period. That is a very normal thing that has existed throughout many, many centuries of human history. And it isn't the only space. And in some ways it holds a level of contradiction that will take generations to eradicate.
I'm committed.
I know you are.
To the work.
Y'all follow the Power of Not Seeking Heaven IG page. You didn't give a shout out to it at the reading yet.
I did to one person in particular. Girl. She's agnostic, so I did tell her. She was like, what, you got the page? I said, I'm working on it, girl. But you know, Revolutionary Baddies is like my main thing right now. I do want to or seek to build an agnostic community because we are out there and we're looking for other people to look us in the eye and say, you're not crazy. You know, you're not an outsider.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the power of not seeking heaven is a project that has been in my spirit and under works for a long time, a few years now. But I just launched a page for it and I have to get back to it. But I do think that there is so much. I have a lot of religious critiques, but the Black church has a lot of potential and power.
Absolutely.
As it used to be. The MLKs and the SNCC and all these people used to come out of churches, which were political meeting hubs. And they were so much more than just a church. Yeah. And so
not all of them. Not all of them. Again,
so we've always had the more conservative denominations.
Not all of them. Same thing with HBCUs. Right. Those were also spaces that held a lot of they hold a lot of organizing history, a lot of transformative organizing history, and many of the HBCUs were not doing that. We're actually telling their students, you better not. You will be expelled, and many of them were. Yeah. You all can, if you need statistics on that, I would recommend The Political Process of Black Insurgency. I talked about this book before, but that is a book that literally gives the statistics of how supportive the churches and the schools were during the Civil Rights Movement and prior to it.
Yeah. And so I'm looking to see these spaces now because me and my mother were talking about it. They become prosperity gospel hubs. You know, this is where you can come to get your soul saved, your shoes shine, and that Benz.
Find your husband, your wife.
Find your man. Look, all right, let me not. I was about to cut up. You can come here. You can get it all, baby. And so these churches, specifically the mega churches, are bringing in 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K a service. Enough to
close the doors.
Close the doors. Enough to pay the pastor's salary and the building fund. Okay, so it ain't. Well, we got to take care of the church. It's being. Trust me, y'all brought in 150K this Sunday. It will cover the mortgage, and so these places have the potential to be doing more work and teaching more organizing because at the Black Panther Party, these Fred Hampton 19, 20, 21-year-old people could come together and cook a hot breakfast every morning for children and send them off to school while doing programs to check on their family members with sickle cell and do pest control services and furniture placement services. Yeah. If these people could do that with just the funding that they were getting and the philanthropy, these Black churches can do it. So if you are a member of the Army of the Lord, I think you should be meeting with your pastor and saying, what can we be doing as an already established community? Yeah. To be more organized and to face the times and to be willing to shelter people. Have legal aid, which the Black Panther Party did have legal aid funds for these people who may get arrested by ICE. Yeah. Picked up and
harassed by the police. Yeah.
What are we doing? So that's one call to y'all. But if you ready to leave death row, holler at the power of not seeking heaven and help me build.
Yeah, Brittany will be waiting. Yeah, I think one of the questions that I have for our listeners from here is, what do you think should be our positive obsession as a society? What should be our positive obsession as a society? I love that
question. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with the term positive obsession.
Yeah, that isn't money. That is not money.
The value of the dollar going down anyway. The things ain't about to be worth nothing but toilet paper. You are holding on to a fleeting god. The fleeting god of the dollar is dying.
Yeah, the myth of what is the myth of the black dollar too? We need to get into that. We're gonna get into that during our reparations episode.
We've got some fire episodes coming up. I do want y'all to know that.
Let them know what we got on the dock.
Oh my God. We are getting into leadership Can the men lead us?
Oh, God.
That's going to be an episode where we are Zaddies, buckle up. Don't leave us.
Don't leave us.
Don't leave us.
But we got some points and they need to be made.
We're talking about reparations, which is just such a conversation that does not. It's just like, oh, it's this thing that was kind of offered and, we didn't get the 40 acres and the mule, the 2 mules. And like, what does that look like?
Right.
What else we got coming up?
I think we wanted to talk about the power of community a little bit.
Yes.
What are some ways of building alternative communities in a way that is very visionary?
Yeah.
Also dialectical in terms of taking a look at the times that we're currently in at the same time. So we got some heavy hitters on the schedule for y'all. We want to thank y'all. Thank you for tuning in to season 2, episode 1 of the Revolutionary Baddies podcast. We don't have a title for this episode just yet.
It'll come. The first episode was Shooters and Looters.
Yeah, it's hard to top that title, honestly. It's so good.
We still need them. We need so much more.
Yeah.
We need so much more. We need a lot. And that's the thing right now. The positive obsession question, and then just thinking about like what could you be? Because in Talents, in Sower, in this acorn community that the main character establishes, everybody has a role. Yeah. Everybody has work to do. Every day you get up and there's something to do to keep the community, to sustain it.
Yeah.
And so what is your work that you feel as though you are best and able to contribute in these times? And so like I say, somebody got to know how to plant these seeds, literally. And somebody's got to teach these children and know how to cultivate in science and everything. So what's your role? What's going to be on your badge in the revolution?
Yeah, that's a good question. So thank y'all for tuning in. Feel free to follow us at Revolutionary Baddies just Revolutionary Baddies. Yeah, on Instagram. We have our Patreon and we have our YouTube channel.
Subscribe.
All of our episodes are posted on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, a bunch of places that you can hear podcasts along with YouTube. We also post all of our episodes on our Patreon. So those that are our members, you get access to the episodes there as well. And that's a place where you can comment. Please respond to our questions through our Instagram, or you can write a comment where you are listening to this podcast now.
We have some exclusive content that'll be coming to our Patreon throughout this season. And like I said, we are building out a universe. This is more than a podcast.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if you would like to see a recap, we have a cute little recap of our live show that is only available on Patreon. So we want to thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see you soon.